It is Sunday, May 11th, 2025, 8:20 p.m. Religion, I don't think is going to be a big focus on this channel, but I would like to start out with something that I would definitely need to have like the main focus for quite a while, 40 days to be exact. This book was given to me last year, roughly, by someone very important to me, 40 Days of Doubt. They're a religious person, and they knew I wasn't, so they gave me a book called 40 Days of Doubt, Devotions for the Skeptic, and every day that I read it, I wrote a response to. Now, I changed a lot in the last year, I'd say, so exactly what I wrote, I don't remember. It probably hasn't changed much. So the way I'm going to do this is a series. I'm going to just pump out all 40 days of these, nothing else on this channel going up for 40 days, and just going to do one a day, one a weekday. And that would be it. So for 40 days straight. I will read I thought about a lot of how to exactly do it. I'm going to read each day the way that it was written by the author. And then I'm going to type out and print. Well, not type out and print, but I'm going to read my response that was a year ago. And then me, present day, is just kind of maybe, I guess, just react as I go. But yeah, 40 Days of Doubt. And I'm just going to read each day, one a day on this channel for 40 days. And then after that, I don't think much religion will be talked about on this channel. We'll see how it happens, but for the most part, like I said, I don't think religion is going to be a big part of this channel. But I definitely, this was something that was important to me, I guess, at the time. And I wanted to kind of reread my responses and read them to you as well. Reading it, I'm not the best reader. But I will do my best to get through it as quickly as possible and read it in the context and in the tone that I guess was intended. All right, so day one is existence reason enough to believe in God. Atheism makes sense. I may be a Christian now, but I still think people have some very good reasons for rejecting supernatural beliefs and embracing atheism. Just think about all the innocent people in the world who are suffering right now. By the time you finish this sentence, hundreds of children will have died in places like Afghanistan and Somalia, and even in more developed nations where cancer centers treat children who are battling that vicious, indiscriminate disease. Atheism is not irrational, especially when you consider arguments. I don't know. Sorry, it's weird. Arguments some Christians make to support their faith in God. Arguments like the universe exists, so God is obviously real, which is a lot like saying coffee exists, so Juan Valdez is obviously real. Yes, coffee obviously exists, and yes, it may seem that coffee didn't just appear for no reason, but 1, raw coffee beans are the result of natural selection. 2, did he say natural selection? 2, coffee farming, harvesting, and roasting process are the result of many generations of trial and error and scientific experiments. Number 3, it would be ignorant to assume that one man, Juan Valdez, is solely responsible for all the coffee just because he is one coffee grower you know by name. Juan Valdez is a fictional character, but even if he was real, there have been millions of other coffee growers over many generations, so why can't we just say coffee comes from natural processes, is fine-tuned by science, and we don't know why? More important, coffee is amazing, so let's just relax and enjoy our time with coffee. Now replace coffee with the universe, and you will see why atheism makes sense to so many people. The universe comes from natural process, is fine-tuned by science, and we don't know why, and we don't need to know why. More important, the universe is amazing, so let's just relax and enjoy our time with the universe. Sometimes I'm still tempted to think like an atheist, but deeper reflection leads to a deeper truth. Coffee must come from somewhere, right? The grounds come from the beans come from plants, the plants come from soil, the soil comes from earth, the earth from primordial gas, ice, and dust, collected and I'm sorry, I don't have the best vocabulary. Partitioned 4.5 billion years ago by gravity, and gravity from, okay, well, we have no idea where gravity comes from. We used to think it was simply a magnetic pole until Albert Einstein showed gravity to be a curvature in space-time continuum. Gravity actually causes space and time to bend. Try and wrap your mind around that one for a minute. And if during that minute you happen to drift into space near a black hole where gravity is much stronger, those 60 seconds will equal 1,000 years here on Earth. And if the books and movies I've consumed are correct, you'll return to find this planet in ruins, being harvested by alien robots, while what's left of the human race subsists underground, but you'll only be 60 seconds older than you were when you left, and you'll tell them all the stories about the way things used to be, and sorry, my brain's not catching up. They'll make you their commander, and you'll lead the Great Humans Uprising of 3018. So, breaking away from that, I just don't like, I slightly remember, I guess, some of the stuff, but just the tangents that he goes on, and sometimes he doesn't even make a point out of it. But, okay, let's get back to the coffee. We all know we have more than just nature and science to thank for this gift. Coffee comes from primeval components manipulated by gravity, fine-tuned by innumerable, impossibly perfect conditions over 4.5 billion years, nourished by nature, enhanced by science, and cultivated with the care by human beings. Now replace the word coffee with my life, and you'll begin to see why belief in God makes sense. He also adds a today's scripture and a today's prayer. I'm going to not, although I did read and I did do the prayers last year when it came up, I'm not going to read that in the videos. I feel like these videos are going to be long enough with me stuttering through each paragraph anyways. But today's scripture is Romans 1:19 through 20a, if you're interested. And today's prayer is from Psalm 94:19, if you want to do that on your own. I won't be putting that in the description or anything, but if you just want to look that up, feel free. Like I said, last year, when I wrote all these, typed all this response and read this originally, I did read the scripture, think about it. I even did the prayers, because why not? But yes, now I want to read my response. So the only thing I can take away from day one is the tangent was basically, that could have been like 2 sentences long. But he went on, he's just said a lot without saying much to make a very basic point, I think. But let's read what Nick said last year. Day 1, is existence reason enough to believe in God? I do not relate to anyone who says we do not need to know why, for that ignorance is in the same vein of God filling the unknown without evidence. Trace back existence far enough, and you are left with 2 options, God or I don't know. What isn't known needs further research. God and faith are the antithesis of any answer, and when any new input is found, God moves down to fill the next why. This is natural for those who are uncomfortable not knowing. A better question would be, is no explanation reason enough for a God? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. That seems to be, nothing has changed in my mind on that one. God will be moved further down to the next why if we ever find a reasonable enough answer for religious people to agree with, I suppose. And that really is it. That's what I'm going to be doing this whole series. Reading the day from the book, reading my original response, and me just kind of being here. Yeah, I think that's it. Whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, always question why.